My wife announced she was finished acting as a wife, instructed me to handle it, and reduced our marriage to a mere cohabitation arrangement while engaging in an extramarital relationship. So I handled it by enforcing the prenuptial agreement that her own father required me to sign, allowing me to retain everything in the divorce. I, 34M, have been married to my wife Tara, 32F, for 9 years. The initial 4 or 5 years were truly wonderful. We purchased a rundown house in the suburbs, dedicated weekends to renovating it side by side, prepared meals together most evenings, and maintained a healthy, regular physical connection. I work as a lead technician at a major car dealership, while she serves as an HR director at a tech firm. We come from different backgrounds, but it functioned well. Around the 5th year, changes began to appear. She received a promotion, began dedicating more time to colleagues, attending professional mixers and after-work gatherings that extended into the early hours. I took on additional shifts at the garage, so initially I didn't pay much attention. We were both occupied, advancing our professional lives, handling grown-up responsibilities, but the emotional gap widened. Our daily habits disintegrated. Shared meals turned into go ahead and eat without me. I have a meeting with the California group. Romantic evenings I arranged were abruptly scrapped for last-second company functions. Then I'd notice her social media posts from a trendy bar with office mates. I attempted to be supportive. She possessed drive, aspirations, and was pursuing them. I refused to be the partner who restrained her progress. The significant shift occurred when Bree became involved. Bree is a co-worker of hers, twice divorced, radiating that embrace your authentic self vibe. She began visiting frequently, or they would video chat for extended periods. I'd catch snippets of their talks from the other side of the door. You make more money than he does regardless. Manual labor types don't grasp professional drive. You're trapped in a dull relationship. Following each visit with Bree, Tara grew more aloof, casually dropping lines like, "I have to prioritize my own fulfillment." I made every effort to rescue our relationship. Reserved a weekend getaway for hiking at a lovely rental cabin in the hills. She backed out 48 hours prior, citing a critical HR seminar that proved to be voluntary. I proposed therapy for couples. She dismissed it as me overreacting and inflating the issue. I purchased bouquets, handled more chores at home, attempted to foster opportunities for us to rekindle. None of it succeeded. Our physical intimacy shifted from infrequent to scarce to completely absent. She eventually relocated to the guest room, claiming she required personal space due to job pressure and sleep issues. Half a year back, it had been 8 weeks without any closeness whatsoever. I at last initiated a meaningful discussion about it. I expressed that I felt like a housemate contributing to expenses, that I felt unwanted and confused about our decline. She regarded me as if I were irrational. Her precise statement, "I'm no longer being physical with you. Accept it or not, it's up to you. I've stopped investing effort into the role of wife." I simply looked at her. Then I responded quietly, "All right, I'll handle it." She appeared content with that, assuming I'd come to terms with the altered dynamic. But she misinterpreted my intent. That evening, I phoned my closest friend Leo. He's known me since our teen years. He's a firefighter today, straightforward and practical. Having witnessed his parents' bitter separation, he understands these matters. He advised me to leave the home before it drove me insane. He provided his extra bedroom. I gathered belongings that night, placed a message on the counter, granting you the distance you requested. Only reach out if it's truly essential. I kept my location private. The following day, I established an individual bank account and redirected my paycheck. I removed my equitable portion from the shared funds, leaving her contributions intact. I ensured all actions were recorded accurately. This is my current situation. I've stayed at Leo's for 3 weeks now. Tara has messaged occasionally, mainly logistical matters regarding expenses. She appears puzzled that I truly departed but hasn't requested my return. My consultation with a divorce attorney is scheduled for tomorrow. Leo will accompany me for encouragement. I've also recalled a potentially important detail. We executed a prenup prior to the wedding. Her father demanded it, typical of his high-finance executive mindset, focused on safeguarding family wealth. I barely skimmed it, signing simply to appease him and proceed with the marriage. I'll take it along tomorrow. At this point, anger has faded. I'm simply finished. She instructed me to handle it, and I am, perhaps not as she anticipated. Edit. Many commenters inquire whether I suspect infidelity. Truthfully, I'm uncertain. The extended evenings away, the growing detachment, her personality shift following Bree's influence. It all points to something suspicious. Yet I lack concrete evidence. Perhaps I'll discover soon. Update 1. Wow, everyone. First, thanks for the overwhelming responses. I've been scrolling through them during breaks at the shop, and the affirmation has been more uplifting than I anticipated. Several of you pinpointed details I omitted. Yesterday, I consulted the attorney. Leo joined as planned. The attorney's name is Hayes, suggested by Leo's relative who navigated a separation recently. We met in his workspace. I provided all monetary records and recounted the events. Roughly 10 minutes later, Hayes interrupted. Did you execute a prenuptial contract? I confirmed. Yes, I have it here. Her father required it pre-ceremony. He's a finance executive with a strong emphasis on preserving familial holdings. Money never mattered to me. I simply wished to wed her. Thus, I signed without thorough review. I assumed it would never be relevant. I retrieved the document from my briefcase and passed it over. Hayes examined it meticulously as I waited, pondering its potential impact. After several minutes, he paused, reclined, and grinned. Not a warm grin, but one from a seasoned professional. Marco, this contains a clause regarding unfaithfulness. Should either spouse be proven to have participated in an outside relationship, that spouse relinquishes rights to shared marital property and any spousal support. They retain solely premarital possessions. It took a moment to register, but I've remained faithful. Exactly, he replied, but what about her? The implication lingered. I reflected on the prolonged absences, the estrangement, her transformation. Then a memory surfaced. We own an outdated tablet in the house, previously used for cooking guides and streaming. It had been stored in a drawer for more than a year. Initially configured with our joint account for ease. If she had messaged anyone, and syncing remained active. Hayes noticed my expression shift. Avoid anything unlawful, he cautioned. However, inspecting a mutual device in the shared residence, accessible to both, is permissible. I departed with a strategy. Tara had an upcoming multi-day professional journey, a seminar in Denver. The home would be vacant. Jumping ahead to Thursday evening last week. I arrived after dark, entered with my key. The interior appeared unchanged, yet alien, as if touring an exhibit of my past existence. I located the tablet precisely as recalled, powered it on. It connected and updated. Communications from recent months appeared. A listing marked simply E. I accessed it. I won't elaborate on the content, but it was revealing. Arrangements for encounters, lodging bookings, criticisms of me. He's become so uninteresting. We're essentially housemates now. Allusions to rendezvous post-professional gatherings. Hints at a joint excursion I believed was solely business-related. E was Kyle, an individual from her organization, a contractor collaborating with her department on assignments. She'd referenced him casually before. Kyle believes this. Kyle recommended that. I assumed merely professional. I remained on the floor, capturing images of all exchanges. Then reviewed stored images. Invoices, scheduled appointments, all details. I arranged chronologically. Created a comprehensive record. Showing Leo the following day, he remarked, "This isn't mere doubt anymore, brother. This is solid documentation." The day prior, Tara returned from her journey. She messaged regarding delivered correspondence. I visited to retrieve it. She awaited and desired discussion. She guided me to the dining area and stated she'd contemplated perhaps redefining our union. She literally said redefine. We could divide expenses equally, maintain separate agendas, essentially cohabitate in the same dwelling. Zero obligations, zero demands. I won't fulfill the conventional spouse role, yet we needn't destroy everything. If you agree, it could function. She inquired nothing about my whereabouts, my well-being. Nothing personal. Directly presented her idea for how I could sustain her convenience. I observed her. She appeared composed, rational, as if negotiating a contract rather than devaluing our bond. I merely grinned and replied, "That seems reasonable. I'll arrange details, but I believe it's feasible." She appeared eased, likely convinced she'd persuaded me into her preferred setup. Unaware, Hayes is preparing the filing. It will incorporate the prenup duplicates and tablet proof. Submission on Monday. That exchange solidified my resolve more than anything in recent times. I'm not redefining anything. I'm concluding it. According to my conditions now. Update 2. This week has been the most chaotic of my existence. I must document it as it's still surreal. Monday, Hayes submitted the papers. Given Tara's detached, strategic approach to the cohabitation suggestion, and Hayes aiming to emphasize consequences, service occurred at her workplace. Midday, surrounded by colleagues. I wasn't present, but she phoned 17 times that evening. 17. I ignored them. Then she arrived at Leo's residence around 6 p.m. Indeed, unexpected. Evidently, she now minded my living situation. Leo opened the door. She was tearful, mascara-streaked, still dressed for office. She bypassed him and spotted me on the sofa. What have you done? You arranged service at my job, Marco, at my job, before the whole department. Can you imagine the embarrassment? I remained composed. You said to handle it, so I'm handling it. By ending our 9-year union over a difficult period? Then I retrieved the tablet. I transferred it to Leo's post-cloud backup. I displayed her exchanges with Kyle, reciting portions aloud. Her complexion paled, then flushed. She attempted to seize it. Leo intervened. How could you invade my personal communications? Not personal when stored on our mutual gadget, linked to our common profile in our joint residence, I explained. Attorney verified legality. I presented the chronology. Half a year of texts, lodging bills, appointments aligning with claimed professional trips and meals. Undeniable. Her words, images, charges from shared finances. Marco, it was meaningless. I was uncertain, navigating a phase. Kyle means nothing. It's finished regardless. When exactly did it conclude? No reply. Allow me to speculate. Precisely when you faced losing your secure lifestyle. She wept intensely. We can repair this. Therapy, anything you desire. No. You declared you were finished investing in spousal duties. You said handle it. So I am. Then Bree arrived. Seriously. Unclear if Tara summoned her to wait nearby, or if Bree senses turmoil instinctively, but she burst in ready to resolve it all. She launched immediately, discarding 9 years over one error. Males are unfaithful constantly, and females must pardon, yet when a female does, it's inexcusable. Leo interrupted graciously. Bree, twice divorced yourself, for your own infidelity both occasions. You advised others they merited superior partners. You've influenced Tara negatively for years. We've overheard. Everyone has. You convinced her she outgrew Marco, prioritized self, marriage constrained her. Deny your role if you wish. Bree reddened. I was aiding my companion. You imposed your issues on her, Leo countered, now upset at her facing accountability as you did. The confrontation escalated. Bree yelling at Leo, Tara sobbing and begging me, Leo guarding the entrance. Finally, I declared enough, exited, drove aimlessly, returned late. Subsequent days calmer. Tara's counsel contacted Hayes. Attempted disputing tablet data as improperly acquired. Hayes refuted swiftly. Mutual device, profile, dwelling. Lawful. Next, alleged prenup coercion. Hayes countered with notarized signature, attestations, all valid. The decisive factor, unfaithfulness provision plus proof. Explicit. Adultery means retaining only premarital assets. No property division. No joint savings claim. No support payments. Her counsel recommended agreement. No viable alternative. Litigation expenses would exceed potential gains. Tara contacted personally several times. Messaged missing me, regretting deeply, professing love. I remain unconvinced. Hearing in 3 weeks. Hayes predicts brevity. Proof irrefutable, prenup ironclad. She'll execute settlement. I never envisioned this. Yet I feel unburdened, freer than in years. Commoners queried Kyle. From hearsay, he vanished from Tara post-filing. Thrill faded without secrecy. No desire for commitment, now open. Typical. Bree vanished too. Drama lost appeal with actual repercussions. Tara isolated. More after hearing. Final update. 3 months passed since prior post. Sharing now due to extraordinary developments. Primarily, divorce complete. Court 2 weeks back. Underwhelming. Tara attended with counsel. Brief session. Judge examined materials. Concluded. She affixed signature. Property mine. Funds mine barring her premarital portion. No support. She departed with vehicle, prior retirement fund, personal items. Assumed closure. I've progressed. Acquired modest home nearer work. 2-bedroom with functional workshop. Finalized purchase recently. Leo and I launched secondary venture. Home electrical and plumbing services. Referral-based. Occupies weekends profitably. Existence peaceful, positive. Yet roughly 2 months passed. Arriving home near 6 p.m. In garage with rusty sorting equipment, vehicle approached. Tara. Appeared altered, slimmer, weary. Casual attire, denim and knit top, unlike usual professional polish. Exited, hesitated at entrance. I approached driveway. Why are you here? Needed to speak with you. Voice soft. May we converse? Preferred not indoors, avoided public disturbance. 5 minutes, here outside. She agreed. Inhaled deeply, began. I realize I lack entitlement to request anything. I ruined us, but Marco, I was adrift. Bree repeatedly claimed I squandered potential, merited greater, early marriage prevented self-discovery. I accepted it. Believed Kyle offered vitality, excitement. Now I see my foolishness. Kyle severed contact once secrecy ended. Blocked entirely. Bree unresponsive over a month, post-finalization. Relocated to modest single-bedroom distant. Struggling financially. Sold vehicle for budget option. All collapsed. No glee from her account. Merely fatigue. Regret your difficulties, but no longer my concern. Not seeking rescue, she clarified. Merely wondering possibility of restarting. Gradually, conversations, assess remnants. I examined her closely. Once, her vulnerability might have shattered me, compelled aid. But that was former self, believing sufficient effort and affection would suffice. Tara, you directed handling absent genuine union. Declared finished with wife role. Engaged intimately elsewhere 6 months as I fought preservation. Intended retaining me as expense-sharing housemate for your freedom. Sole motivation now, failed scheme. She recoiled. Untrue. I miss you. Miss our life. You crave security. Someone investing without reciprocity. Distinct. Tears flowed. Aware of error. Undeserving chance. Yet years shared signify something. I love you. No. Perhaps formerly. Ceased long ago. I was preoccupied repairing to observe. But I'm well now. Wish you resolve matters. Truly. But finished. Entered home. She lingered briefly, departed. Not peak drama. Following morning, Facebook contact from Nancy. Unfamiliar. Query. Marco, Tara's former spouse? Nearly ignored, but intrigued. Yes, who is this? Kyle's partner. Former, as of today. Discovered prior exchanges with Tara. Knew his infidelity. Unaware of her marital status then. Apologies for your experience. He's despicable. Exchanged messages. Kyle betrayed Nancy with Tara, then pursued another post my union's collapse. Habitual cheater. Nancy uncovered proof, ended it same day. Expressed sympathy. Appeared sincere, relatable. After dialogue, suggested coffee to vent mutual poor former partners. Agreed. Met local cafe. Intended brief became ours. Graphic designer, hilariously witty. Chuckled at absurdity. Us bonding while exes likely suffered. Coffee extended to meal, beverages, my residence invitation. On sofa, she noted, this odd, correct? Our situation. Extremely, I concurred. Positive odd. Indeed. Shared kiss. First in ages, sensed genuine mutual desire. Dating since. This morning, 17 missed calls, 30 messages from Tara. Evidently Kyle learned of us, perhaps acquaintances or profiles, and informed Tara. Messages began early AM. Seriously, Marco? Dating his former partner. So immature, vindictive. Solely to wound me. No replies. 8 AM doorbell. Tara. Nancy present, brewing coffee. Tara glimpsed via glass. Nancy in my shirt, casual in kitchen. Expression shifted anger, devastation, rage rapidly. Unbelievable. Nancy approached entrance. Hello, Tara. Nancy here. Likely no recollection, but brief encounter at company gathering. Kyle presented you as team member. Tara stunned. You were aware, to me. Dating her deliberately. Fully aware. She's individual deceived and betrayed by man who did same to me via you. Shared experience. Disgusting. Punishing me. Nancy advanced. In fact, Tara, world doesn't revolve around you. We bonded over mutual betrayal by identical pair. Key distinction, we're advancing. Recommend same. Tara speechless. Wept, departed. Moments later, unknown text. Kyle here. Pathetic, pursuing my ex for revenge. Mature. Displayed to Nancy. She replied via my device. Nancy speaking. Actually, no pursuit. I initiated. Unlike you, he's decent. Delete contact. Blocked. Returned phone. Acceptable? I embraced her. Ideal. Current status. Divorced. New home. Expanding venture with friend. Dating individual who truly cares. Ex-wife and former lover distraught over it. Irony exquisite. They pursued liaison. Expected my passive acceptance. Now observe my progression with one comprehending their actions. Intolerable. Nancy and I proceeding cautiously. Aware of past issues. Yet first in years, enthusiastic about person. About existence. Occasionally, release guides to superior unforeseen paths. Gratitude for encouragement, community. Concluding this phase. Anticipating future.